Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're hearing me from. Hello there. This is Adebowale-Morotito. You're welcome to my channel. This particular day, I want us to address a particular issue that affects our businesses as business owners and as particularly as school owners. Business owners can also pick one or two lessons from this. However, majorly, I'm doing this for school owners, for them to be able to understand how to create a satisfactory customer experience in their schools. As parents, what they want to experience is something that would make them stay with you and be able to get value for their money. So this particular day, I'm going to be talking about creating a satisfactory customer experience in your school. You want to give them an experience that satisfies them. So I'll bring up my slide now for us to have this, for us to start this episode. Okay, the slide is coming up now. The slide is coming up, uploading now. Uploading, it's processing, just a few seconds, and we go. All right, so like I said, we are going to be looking at creating a satisfied customer experience in your school. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. All right, so without wasting our time, this is Monadel Educational Consulting. I'll be presenting today. And like I said earlier, my name is Adebowale-Morotito. I'm education consultant. And I partner with businesses or schools to organize and manage their schools for maximum growth. And when I talk about growth, I'm talking about growth when you talk about numerically and when you talk about financial growth. My core competence include empowering schools, organizations, SMEs, and people who drive these places by providing the following services. I deal with recruitment, I deal with training and development of staff members, right from the executive top management level to the all the staff members, then employee engagement, business structure, business registration, company registration, NGO registration with CAC in Nigeria, management consulting, and business advisory. All these I do under the umbrella of Monadel Educational Consulting. Now, we work across other businesses, not just your school alone. We give your businesses the touch that it needs to be able to grow. So enough about me. Let's go to the meat of today's broadcast. All right. So by creating a satisfactory customer experience in your school, you are making sure that you retain, most of the time, what many people want to do is just attract. Okay, while you're attracting new customers, while you're attracting new parents, are you taking care of those that are already in the house? Are you taking care of those that are already enrolled in your school? You see, when we talk about school marketing, I usually tell people that we're talking about you you attracting new parents and you retaining the parents that are with you. It is part of the marketing. You need to be sure that those that are with you are satisfied, and then you are able to also get more in terms of those that are still outside. Creating a satisfactory customer experience in your school is essential for the growth and success of your school. And as a school leader, as a school owner, there are various strategies you can employ to ensure your customers. When you talk about your customers, I need you to understand that we're talking about your students, we're talking about your parents, we're talking about other stakeholders in that school community. You ensure that they are satisfied. It is important for us to acknowledge that the satisfaction of our customers is vital to the success of our institution. In today's competitive market, where you have a lot of schools springing up at every corner, a positive customer experience can be the key factor in attracting and retaining your parents, your families, your students, increasing enrollment and enhancing the school reputation. You see, when people are satisfied with the experience they have with your school, you are increasing the reputation of your brand, because people will definitely go out there and talk about your school. They will go out there and talk about your school. So it's important for you to create that satisfactory experience that will make them want to talk about your school, that will make them want to say, you know, if you take your child to that school, believe me, you are going to have a very good time there. It is because you have been able to give them satisfaction. All right, so let's get started. Let's look at how we can create this satisfactory customer experience in our schools. All right, so let's quickly get to it. Okay, number one is the fact that you need to identify your customers' needs. You need to identify your customer first, and then identify what is their need. This is me taking us back to the basis of the foundation of starting our school or starting a business. So, as a school owner or as a school leader, it's important for us to understand who our customers are and what their needs are. Everybody, I say this often, everybody cannot be your customer. Everybody cannot be parents. Every family cannot be in your school. So, you need to identify the ideal customer for your own school. And you need to look at what are their needs. If I'm dealing with millennial parents, what are exactly the needs? What are those things they are looking for before they can put their child in a particular school? Just the same way students have different needs from their parents, parents also have different needs from other stakeholders. So you need to understand the needs of the different stakeholders. What do millennial children, the children, what do Gen Z, what do children in this century, 21st century, what do they need? What do they want? And then you look at their parents, because you're dealing with two, more than two though, but primarily you're dealing with two customer base here. You're dealing with parents and you're dealing with children. You're dealing with the students. So it's important you know the needs of both customer angle for you to be able to tailor your services to meet those needs that they have. So the first thing you have to do is to identify. If you don't know what your customers need, if you don't know what students need, if you don't know what parents need, there is no way you can satisfy them. There is no way you can give them a satisfactory customer experience. Their experience with you will be calamitous. There'll be a lot of chaos because you're going to be doing 1001 things, and those 1001 things may not meet the desires, the need of your customers, of your parents. So it's important that you identify their needs. It's important you identify who your customers are and then identify their needs. So that's number one. If you want to give a satisfactory customer experience in your school, you must identify who your customer is first, or who your customers are, and then identify what exactly are their needs. What are those things that they desire? What are those things that they want to see in a school? Number two, you must focus on effective and timely communication. You must focus on effective and timely communication. You see, good communication is essential in creating a satisfactory customer experience. There is nothing. I remember when I was a school head and I was writing this particular newsletter, and I talked about something. I said I took my time to explain the need for communication in any human endeavor. As a social being, it is important that we understand that the core of our existence, the core of everything we do, rests upon communication. If we are not able to communicate with ourselves, then there is no way that we can actually relate together. So, good communication is essential to creating a satisfactory customer experience. You must make sure that you have clear communication channels in place. How you're going to speak with your parents, how you're going to speak with your students, what are the channels you're going to speak with them. The school website is one. Newsletters, you can have email newsletters for parents. You may have the hard copy typed on a paper, and then you may use your social media pages to communicate with your enrolled families, and you communicate with prospective parents. You must ensure that all the messages you pass are clear, they must be concise, and it must be timely. You see, a lot of times I discovered that a lot of schools, when they have crisis, they don't communicate in a timely manner. Yes, you're a school, but you must make your communication very clear and concise. Go straight to the point. There's no reason to beat about the bush. If you need to inform parents about how their children are faring, about activities in the school, about expectations you have for them, you must be as clear and concise as you can be. You must respond promptly to inquiries and to complaints. Parents will always, I was reading on Facebook the other day, and someone said, if you are allergic to complaints, then you don't have business starting a school. Because within a week, you can have, there's no way complaints will not come. Even when you have a top-notch kind of service that you render, there will still be complaints because you're dealing with different type of people with different backgrounds, with different demographics, with different needs and desires. So you must endeavor to respond promptly to inquiries. If anybody is asking for something, you mustn't leave it to just lag there. You must attend to complaints immediately, and you must keep your customers informed about any updates, any changes in your services. The other day, I was reading on Facebook again, I think last week or thereabout, I was reading on a popular Facebook group, and a parent was complaining that the kids were actually going for an excursion, and the school was not disclosing where they'll be taking them to. And I was like, how is that going to work? You're taking children, other people's children on an excursion, and you're not telling them, you said because of security reasons. No, you must inform them. This is the procedure. This is the way we're going to move. This is where we are going. This is the bus services that we're going to be using. This is the time we're taking off. This is the time we're expecting to get there. If there's anything on the route, you communicate. If there are changes, if there are updates in whatever you do in your school, you must inform parents. Number 3, you must train your staff. Who is going to deliver the value? Who is going to deliver the services you want to render to parents? Your staff. So if your staff is not well trained on best practices, on how to relate with customers, on how to handle inquiries, on how to handle complaints, on how to handle difficult customers, on how to handle communication, you're going to run into problems. Your staff is an essential part of creating a satisfactory customer experience in your school. You must ensure that they are properly trained on customer service skills, communication, and problem solving. Many times when we want to train our staff members in school, we focus more on the teaching staff And even the teaching staff, when we focus on them, we also don't teach them on customer service skills. There'll be times they will meet with parents. There'll be times they will relate with parents. There'll be times you have open house in your school and you want them to interact with parents. How do they interact? Do they have the customer service skills? Do they have the communication skills? Do they have the problem solving skills that would turn prospective parents into enrolled parents, or that would make enrolled parents become retained parents? So you must train them, train your staff members, both teaching and non-teaching staff, to understand customer service skills, communication skills, and problem solving skills. This will help them to better interact with your customers, who are your parents and students, and address their needs effectively. If you want your staff members to be able to work effectively and attend to issues as they arise, then you need to train them. Number four, we must offer and focus on quality education. You see, the basis of whatever you're having in your school is quality education. This is the core of what parents are looking for. They want quality. Quality around, the whole educational provisions you're going to be giving them. You talk about facilities, you talk about educational resources, you talk about educational activities, you talk about your staff, you talk about everything that forms the foundation of your school must be built on quality. I say this often. Uh, when I was a school leader, I used to say this, that you are paying. When I meet with parents, I tell them, there are some parents that will say, I'm sorry, my complaints are getting too, and I feel, no, your complaints are not getting too much. You see, it means that we're doing something wrong and we need to correct them. That is one part. Number two is the fact that you're paying for value, you're paying for services, and we must give value for your money. So you must give value, give quality education for what parents are paying for. One of the most important things your customers, that is students and parents, expect from your school, even the general public, is quality education. You must ensure that your school provides quality education that meets the needs of your customers, the needs of parents, the needs of students in this 21st century. And this includes hiring qualified and experienced teachers, providing modern and adequate teaching resources, and maintaining a conducive learning environment. Everything you provide that makes up your school, the books, the writing materials, your cleaners, your paintings, everything must show quality. The way people speak in your school must show quality. The things that teachers teach in class must show quality. The kind of facility you have must be that shows quality. So you in making parents have a satisfactory experience in your school, you must offer and focus on quality education. Number five, you must personalize the experience. I cannot overemphasize this fact that you must personalize the experience that parents have in your school. No two persons are the same. Every student and parent is unique, and their needs and expectations may also differ. So you must personalize the experience by creating an individualized lesson plan for students. You must offer flexible schedules for parents. You must provide opportunities for one-on-one meetings with teachers. You see, the way you're going to deal with parents A may be different from the way you handle parents B. The way you attend to student A will be different from the way you attend to student B. You must personalize each person's experience. I am not talking about the old school experience that includes the services you're giving, but I'm talking about one-on-one interaction. I'm talking about your interface with each family, parents and children, students. You must personalize their experience. You must endeavor that you personalize the way you attend to the needs, you attend to complaints, you attend to observations raised by parents and students. You must understand that. Number six, You must respond promptly to inquiries and complaints. Just like we talked about under communication, you must respond promptly to inquiries and complaints. When a student or parent reaches out to you with a question or a concern, you must respond promptly and professionally. You mustn't blow it out of proportion. You must be calm and you must respond immediately, promptly, and professionally. Even if you don't have the full answer, even if you don't have the full scenario, even if you don't have the full thing right there with you, there is a way you can answer professionally and then provide an elaborate explanation or answer later on. You must address their concerns in a respectful and empathetic manner and offer solutions or alternatives to help solve the issue. When parents or students come to you with a particular problem, and that was why we talked about problem solving skills the other time. When they come to you with a particular problem, you must address it in a respectful manner. You must show empathy when they come to you, with inquiries, with complaints, with issues. And when you give it to them, this in particular, I used to tell teachers when I was working at school ed that when you're coming to me to tell me a problem, bring your solution. Why I do that is because I want to build them up to understand the fact that when people come to you with problems, with challenges, you must be able to provide solutions or alternatives that will help resolve that issue. So you must train your staff on how to respond promptly to inquiries and complaints, whether they have the full answer or they don't have the full answer. When parents see that the moment they lodge complaints or they have inquiries, it is attended to immediately, they will feel this level of satisfaction that will make them continue to re-enroll their children in your school. Number seven, which is second to the last, you're going to foster a positive environment. You see, environment dictates a whole lot of things. If I come into your environment and it is hostile and it is tense and it's not friendly and it's negative, I'm not coming back. It's the same thing with parents and students. If students keep going home and tell their parent, mom, dad, something about that place, they keep having different issues with your environment, your physical and uh, your non-physical environment, then there's a problem. If parents come in and they don't feel comfortable in your environment, then there is a problem. You must endeavor to create a safe and welcoming environment for all students, staff, and visitors. I wrote an article some time ago and I asked the question. I said, have you ever felt like a guest in your school? Like you just woke up that day and you're school as a school leader or as a school owner, and then you're going and say, I want to be like a guest, I want to feel like a guest. Will this environment be welcoming? Will it be inspiring for me as a parent? I get to my front office. What is the kind of environment that is there? I get into the hallway. What's the kind of environment that is there? I get into the classroom. What kind of environment is in the classroom? Environment matters a whole lot. You must encourage positive interactions between students and staff. You must encourage positive interaction between students, between staff and staff members, and provide opportunities for community building activities. You must create activities that will bring everyone in your school community together. You see, when you bring them together, when you make them respect each other, when you make them interact with each other positively, you're creating an environment that becomes welcoming, that becomes hospitable, that becomes positive, that becomes inspiring for anyone that comes into your school. If your environment is negative, if your environment is toxic and porous, believe me, there is no way parents will enjoy the services you're giving them. So you must endeavor to create a positive environment in your school. And then the last, you must solicit feedback. You see, this is one particular part school leaders, school owners don't look at. When parents see that you're asking feedbacks from them, when they notice that you take feedback from them, they feel relaxed. You increase their satisfaction level and they feel, well, this school listens to me. I don't know if you noticed, a lot of times when people see that they are being listened to, It gives them this inner joy that they want to just stay with you. So it's important that as you communicate with parents, you must always also solicit feedback from them, and that's why I encourage a lot of schools to do to carry out surveys. You know, probably at the beginning of the term, the middle of the term, and the end of the term. You must always you ask from your parents that are with you. You ask from parents that are exiting. You ask from students. You ask from staff members. You go around to solicit for feedback, particularly from parents, to see how they are faring, to see how they are enjoying your services, to see if there are loopholes, to see if there are areas that you need to work on in your school. It's essential to solicit feedback from your customers on a regular basis. If you cannot do it twice in the term, at least try to do it once in a term. I do that often as a school head. Then I do. I make sure that we solicit for feedback from our parents. We send surveys home for them to tell us what they think about our services so far. And then we have a meeting. I have a meeting with staff members. We see that we analyze their responses and see where we are lagging. And then we also give them the response. You're not just collecting the survey, you're not just collecting their answers, you're not just collecting their feedback. You're also responding to tell them that, yes, thank you for taking your time to answer this survey. We're also working on XYZ. We have seen some concerns you have raised here, and we are doing this, and that. So this will help you to identify areas that need improvement and make the necessary adjustments. You can use surveys, like I said, use suggestion boxes or focus groups to gather feedback from your customers. These days that a lot of parents even embrace the digital part of it, you can do surveys and just let them quickly answer the surveys online. Within 3 minutes, they are done and they submit it. You're able to collate and see what is going on with your school. These are the 8 things that I believe that will give your school the edge when it comes to customer service experience that you give to your parents. So we've talked about the fact that you need to train your staff. We've talked about the fact that you need to offer quality services. We've talked about the fact that you need to focus on effective and timely communication. We've talked about the fact that you need to identify your customers and their needs for you to be able to meet that. We have also talked about the fact that you must personalize the experience that students and parents have in your school. We also talked about you responding promptly to inquiries and complaints. We talked about you fostering a positive environment. And we have talked about the fact that you need to solicit feedback from your parents. All right, so we've looked at these 8 points, and I want to believe that you have been able to pick 1 or 2 that you're going to start implementing in the coming term and towards next session to give your school the lift that it deserves. Taking the steps that we have highlighted will help you create a positive and satisfactory customer experience in your school. And this will in turn lead to increased student and parent satisfaction, improved academic outcomes, and greater overall success for your school. You see, if students are happy, if they are satisfied with what you are giving them, there is the tendency that they will have improved academic outcomes. Creating a satisfactory customer experience in your school is a continuous process. It's not fine, you've listened to this. It doesn't mean that that's the end. It's a continuous process. You continue to, oil the engine of satisfaction. You continue to, do more. You continue to build on the foundation that you have laid. It requires consistent effort and commitment. Consistency is the key. You must be consistent in the effort you put into creating satisfactory customer experience, and you must be committed to it. You must continue to learn and adjust where necessary. You too can create a school environment that is conducive to learning and that meets the needs of your customers. It is not just for some section of people. It's not just for some people that I'll say they have big schools. No, it is for everyone that runs the school business. So it's important that we do this in our schools so that we can continue to grow in our schools. Thank you so very much for staying and listening to this show today. I want to believe that you have been able to get one or two things that you are going to start implementing in your schools from this coming term and for next session. And I believe that you're going to partner with us at Monadel Educational Consulting for your school needs, for your services, for consulting services, and for products, for trainings. We have products such as school handbooks for parents, for employees, for students, which is the code of conduct. What do they need to know? We have school survey solution that we can offer for your school. You can drop a comment. I'll send you the link to our seller store where you can get this in an affordable manner. And then we have the school enrollment pack that you use in your school that makes it well structured and gives you that standard that your school currently yearns for. We also have employee handbook. We have teachers code of conduct that you can use in your school. We have various products that can be used in your school. We also have some free products that you can use. We also have the recruitment checklist. We have the 20 essential policies that you're supposed to have in your school. I'll drop the link and you can go through our seller store and see for yourself what you need. You can also book for a free 30-minute consultation session with our lead consultant where we're going to dissect problems or issues or challenges in your school and provide probable solutions to them. Thank you so very much once again for joining this broadcast. I want to believe once again that we are going to work together to give our children, to give the students the best that they deserve. Till I come your way again, I remain Adebowale-Morotito. Do have a beautiful day to yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to share this video with school leaders in your circle. Don't forget to click on the notification every time we drop a new video that you can enjoy. Thank you so very much for your time once again. I believe that we're going to do this more and we're going to see more of you on our page. Do have a very nice day. Bye bye.